Hello, hello. It's me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Welcome to our April transits. We're going to talk about the astrology of the month of April. And I do have some tarot cards sitting here. I did pull some tarot cards earlier. Apologies now for any noise you hear in the background because this is my home. Well, and life is lifing right now. Isn't that what the kids say? Yes. So my phone might be ringing and all that stuff. Okay. I'm reading some of the things in here. Anyway, but yeah, so let's get started. But before I get started, I always forget to say the important things and handle business because this is technically a business. You guys, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And like, thumbs up. I'm not just saying that to say it. That actually helps me. If you see the amount of viewers I have, it's not that many. And if you're enjoying my content, that will help me out. This is your version of tipping me. This is your version of paying me. And the service is free. So it is free to thumbs up. Now, it is also free to comment. That actually helps me put me in the algorithm of things. Now, the numbers is somewhat of an ego-driven thing. I do like that I have the constant supporters that I have and that they are consistent and that they like the quality of work I have. I am not trying to be famous. Trust me off of this. However, I do want the value. I want people to value what my service because I am gifted at what I do. So if you value the service that I am providing, I would please love a comment. So please go ahead and do that. I know it's like so redundant to do this, but this is the only commercial that you should have if I don't know, YouTube on its own. But yeah, I'm sponsoring my own video. So there you have that. Okay. So yes. Oh, also I have a newsletter that I give out every week. It basically gives the summary of the video. It gives it in a quick blurb. But also importantly, what the newsletter does for me is keeps me in touch with you because we have the world of TikTok and Instagram and Reels and the government being involved with all this. You never know when I get shut down or if someone hacks me. And this way, me giving you a newsletter weekly, most importantly, gives me the ability to stay in touch with you. And that way, if anything ever happens, ta-da, I can say, bam, I'm here. This is my website. This is my this, whatever. You get the point, okay? You understand how this new world is working. So please don't forget to sign up for my newsletter. The link is down below. If you guys are listening to this via podcast or if you are on X joining us, welcome. And the link will be somewhere. It is definitely on my website. So sign up for my newsletter and that link will be available. Okay, so let's talk about the important dates that we have here of April. These are the important dates. Of course, there are some more dates out there, but I do want you to understand the summary because this would be a very long video if I didn't just discuss the big token items here. So February, sorry, apologies. Again, okay, whatever. April 1st, and that is April Fool's Day, and Mercury will retrograde fully. And be prepared for a lot of pranks that day. That happens at 3:14 p.m. April 3rd, Venus is going to conjunct, and mind you, I'm going to go in detail of all these. Venus will conjunct Neptune. This is going to be very interesting with the Pisces energy. Some romance of some sort. Great day to be romantic, and that is in the morning, but you'll feel it lingering for a few days. And February, I keep wanting to say February, April 4th. Why am I stuck in February? Venus will enter Aries. This is going to be interesting. A lot of selfish energy here. We have it every year, though. Now, on the 8th, we have the solar eclipse in Aries. Aries energy, I will discuss Aries. I will discuss this solar eclipse. Also, I did a video on the eclipse. We are feeling the energy of it now. I am peeping everyone out. Today I saw that Candace Owens, if you're a fan or not a fan, I actually listened to all media platforms because I like to know it all. That is my Gemini placements. But I saw that Candace Owens is she left her company, not her, it's not her company, but the people who hired her, the platform she was using, and it's called the Daily Wire. And that is definitely was an open relationship, Libra energy, because this was a eclipse in Libra that we're feeling now. So that got clipped out. Okay. Releasing something basically is what happens with this eclipse coming up on the 8th, though. Oh, it has the S there, typo. That annoys me. But with that eclipse, it is conjunct the North Node. So gaining something, and we'll discuss more on that. And it's also conjunct Chiron. It's conjunct something else too. I think Mercury. So we'll get into that. I'll discuss that when we get there. And then on the 10th of April, we have Mars is going to conjunct Saturn. Okay. That one's a little Saturn's always a little scary. I mean, it is representing fear, so we'll see that. And Mars is representing war. That's going to be interesting energy. Okay. We got that solar eclipse, and then a few days later we have that Mars conjunct Saturn. I always want to talk about the big planets changing degrees, and most importantly, I want to talk about Pluto in Aquarius. It goes to 2 degrees, and I'll discuss what that means. And then the Sun is going to conjunct Mercury, and that's going to be the Cazimi. That means that Mercury retrograding is at its halfway point, and usually there's big announcements with that one. For the collective, Sun enters Taurus. It's Taurus season on the 19th. Happy solar return for everyone who is a Taurus. Jupiter is going to conjunct Uranus. We're already feeling that because they're sitting close together. That Taurus energy will be extra strong. On the 21st, the Sun will be squaring Pluto. Interesting. Okay. Again, in at 2 degrees. And I left degrees on this one, but I discussed the degrees fully when we get into everything. On the 23rd, we have the full moon in Scorpio. I'm full moon in Scorpio is always, I'm a moon in Scorpio. So it always hits different for me. At the same time, it's like, thank God it's not an eclipse, but it is a full moon in Scorpio. And that's always a very intense full moon. Mercury will go direct on the 25th now, but it still lingers there. And then we have Mars is going to conjunct Pisces. So that would be interesting. Mars conjuncting anything is always like an eye roll, but there's some fun aspects with that, I guess, as far as energy too, positive aspects. Venus entering Taurus is going to happen on the 29th. Mars will enter Aries on the 30th, and then also Venus will be squaring Pluto. So we're shutting a month off with some the word is interesting, but let's say explosive energy. Okay, so let's get into the real deets of everything. And I hate when it's a blackout, but okay. So let me pull up my notes for everyone. How is everyone doing? How is your week? I have on, just so you know, the head wrap is called It's a Wrap, or It's Wrap. That's the name of the head wrap. And it's extra juicy today. It's extra big. It's brown. My earrings are from Banjam, one of my favorite brands, and my shirt is from Line by K, and I have on like a, what is this sweater, like a sweater duster, because I'm always cold and then I get hot because of the lights. Anyway, but that's what we have. So let's get into the judge of the month. Okay, let me just explain some Aries themes for everyone. Okay, let me I'm annoyed by this. Okay, there we go. Let me just explain some Aries. Okay, sorry, I'm pressing buttons that are new. I don't know why I'm doing that. Mercury in the sign Aries, already feeling that retro, just trying new stuff. What is going on, Mercury and Aries? Okay, anyway, let me just say some Aries things. Speaking of Aries, because we're going to have a lot of planets in the sign Aries. The sun is currently in Aries. The Aries is dealing with the brain, it's dealing with the head. We have some fires, sharp objects like weapons that are very like fierce. Okay, leaders, boss, physical energy, sports. Military also is representative of Aries. And then we have law enforcement and surgery. Just a few things, right? So April 1st, remember Mercury is going to station retrograde. Really retrograde really gets strong there in that sign Aries. Communication may become more challenging. There may be delays and misunderstandings coming up in the next few weeks. It happens in 27 degrees. 27 degrees is a Gemini degree, and Gemini is all about communication. So that's going to be stronger than ever. Gemini is also about those short trips. There's gadgets, telephones, televisions, books, writings of all sort, siblings, and neighborhood. So all that will be playing a big aspect with the sense of self, okay? And all those things that I mentioned earlier about Aries, all those themes that I mentioned early. Now, Mercury is in charge of our accuracy. It's in charge of our writing, and really going to be important with writing because we're dealing with that Gemini degree, right? Mercury is also in charge of, and Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, so extra mercurial energy. We're dealing with small animals, automobiles, travel, advertisements. What else do we have? Commentators, hence very going to be very spicy because Candace Owens is a commentary, and then the guy Ben Shapiro. So let's see what they have to say. Broadcasting, any questions is very mercurial, Mercury. Contracts, rumors, critics, freshmen, healers, hygiene, money, young people, and in a sign of Aries, so maybe young athletes. Okay. Also bisexuality is dealing with Mercury because Mercury is like, I think I can do it all. I can multitask here. I can be both. And let's see some gossip regarding some aspects of this, or something new regarding bisexuality that could be happening. Schools also is dealing with Mercury, especially early education. Now, I pulled a tarot card for this Mercury retrograde, and it's in it. I pulled the card Ace of Pentacles. So there will be some clarity of the self and the physical body because we are dealing with some Aries. Maybe when this retrograde is over, there will be clarity, or maybe during this Mercury retrograding in the sign Aries, we will have clarity of our purpose, of ourself, or our physical body. Okay. But look out for community. Well, could be some community issues here, but communication challenges, having some realizations, are reevaluating some goals in life, increase impulsivity. Aries is very impulsive. It doesn't like to think before it does. So try to be patient. Review of self-identity, and potential for conflict because it's a fire sign. Aries is very confrontational. And of course, it just says what's on his mind right away. So be aware of that. I did discuss it in a video of the pre-shadow phase of Aries. I get more detailed, but we have a whole month to talk about. So that's what we get on April 1st. And remember, Mercury is also in charge of pranks. So April Fool's prankster, I think we're going to have some bad pranks, and it could be causing some conflicts. Okay. April 3rd, our moon moves into Aquarius, but we're not here for that because the moon moves fast. I wanted to talk about Venus is in the sign Pisces. It's going to conjunct Neptune in the sign Pisces. That's going to be a dreamy and romantic aspect. It could be enhancing some creativity and some compassion. It's also in 28 degrees. That's a Cancer degree. So we're dealing with your home, your nurturing traditions, mother, loyalty, feminine energy, father, water of all sorts, right? Pisces, let me just tell you what Pisces represents real quick. Anything that's dealing with abstract energy, occult, religion, spirituality. Actors are also part of Pisces because Pisces could be a lie, right? Fraud, artists of any kinds. And because it is very creative. There's ocean, the sea, ships. I'm thinking that it's really going to have something to do with water because it's dealing with this Cancer degree, and it is conjunct could be good and bad, right? You can, because the energy is just stronger together. So there's some good aspects to this and some negative aspects to this aspect. So let's not call it aspects, themes to this aspect, right? Pisces also represents like crazy people, asylums and jails and limitations, drugs, medication, because a drug is a medication. There's also charity and sacrifice and love and romance. Okay. So you have all that. And this Pisces energy, on a side note, makes me think of the news that just came out that Florida spring break just ended. They're like finito. It's not happening. It makes me think of Saturn in the sign Pisces. It entered 12 degrees. 12 degrees is a Pisces degree, and Pisces also represents endings. limiting, ending it. Like it's over. It's the last zodiac sign of the astrology wheel, and Saturn is all about the restrictions. So let's end this partying. Okay. The father figure is here. No, we're serious. We're not doing this anymore. So very interesting. Now, for this aspect of Venus conjunct Neptune, I pulled the Ace of Pentacles, and I think that there's going to be some new chances on traditions. Okay. We're going to be, because traditions, we are dealing with that Cancer degree, and it is going to be something new, tangible, and physical happening. Maybe we could be heightenedly sensitive with this aspect, with romanticism huge. There could be some illusion and some deception, creativity as an ultimate high that day. So really be creative, really be compassionate. You can really empathize for a lot of people with this energy. So there's positives and negatives. Just do not fall for any deceptions or cloudy judgment. Okay. Now let's move on to April 4th. April 4th, Venus will enter Aries. So just as it ends that Pisces energy, now it enters Aries, and Venus energy becomes more assertive and more passionate. I pull the Three of Swords in this aspect, and that basically means that we could be losing false illusions that are beautiful for the first time, because we are dealing with that Aries aspect. So like false illusions is that Pisces, and now that there's some new clarity happening, and it's like, oh, I thought you were beautiful, but actually, you're not. Maybe a new cycle of looking at the truth. Okay. Some good themes for this is that we could be, for Venus being in a sign Aries. Okay. And remember, Venus is going to move, and it's going to have different aspects from all the planets here, and dealing with the moon and dealing with the sun. But we could be falling for leaders, new friendships, loving self, beauty of self, attaching to self, celebrations of self happens with Venus in Aries. There is a lot of stuff with physical bodies. So maybe like a celebration for sports or some athletes. Forgiveness, ladies first, because you are dealing with Venus is, women of her, what is it? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and it's in the sign Aries. So maybe we'll be first, maybe some new love affairs. Venus represents remedies, so we can have some new remedies coming up from this. Passionate relationships, assertive in love, bold fashion choices, because we are dealing with aesthetics, and Aries is very bold and courageous. So maybe some creativity, and you're being very courageous with your creativity. Independent self-love. Okay. Some challenging themes with this Venus being in Aries is that we could be impulsive with our decisions and impulsive with our aesthetics, maybe even with finances, because it is our Venus is what we naturally attract. Conflict in relationships, there could be self-centeredness happening, restlessness and impatient, and risk of burnout. The intense energy of Venus in Aries can sometimes lead to a burnout. We push ourselves maybe too hard, and we don't pay attention to self-care. So it could be the opposite of not taking care of the self. Okay. It's important to find a balance between the two. Now, globally, there could be a focus on independence. There could be assertiveness and being diplomatic, passion and idealism. Aries is very passionate. So this transit could bring a sense of passion and idealism on global issues, inspiring us to take action and pursue our goals with fire. Okay. We could be causing some conflict, because Aries is the god of war. Okay. And Venus is seeking harmony. However, to seek the harmony, maybe we need to have some conflict. What else? Maybe initiating some peace building. Let's see. Venus is about love, and focusing on self-interest could be prioritized with Venus in the sign Aries. Now, April 8th, we have the solar eclipse, and I have a beautiful picture here. A beautiful picture. Let's see here. Here is our picture. Hold on one second. I have to click so many things. Okay. So while I'm talking about let me drink some water first. Hold on, peeps. Okay, April 8th. And remember, we could be feeling this eclipse energy a little bit before, like a week before. So, when that Mercury is retrograding, we're feeling this eclipse as well. Okay. And a solar eclipse in Aries. And I will do a separate video just on the solar eclipse and some horoscopes, but it's in 19 degrees, and it's going to be, that's a Libra degree. That's about fairness and law and partnerships. A lot of things are dealing with the self and relationships, right? Also fashion, charm, luxury items, music, and art, right? And I pulled the Nine of Wands. Before I explain what the solar eclipse is, I just want to tell you what I pulled. And the Nine of Wands is about facing your fears, realizing the truth, overcoming anxiety, standing your own ground, and being persistent. And there could be a transformation. Now, the total solar eclipse will cross North America, and that's what I'm showing you guys here, passing over Mexico and the United States and Canada. The first location of the continental North America that will experience totally okay, whatever, I don't know what I put there, but it's going to be around 11:07 a.m. is when it starts, and then 11:20 is when it's really at its full effect. I pulled a card for each location that will be really seeing this eclipse, and whoever can see the eclipse, it most likely will affect the most. I feel like it's going to affect two places the most, this eclipse on April 8th. And hello anyone who is live watching. Anyway, but I feel like it's going to affect two places the most. I feel like it's going to affect Dallas and another place. I'll explain why I think that. But Dallas is going to have some patience and maybe have some control. Not Mexico, and even though it's going to go over Mexico, I think the places in Mexico, they're going to get a lot of attention, or maybe they're going to start something new in Mexico. Now, I pulled some cards for all the places, and Russellville is one. The Sun card came out, and it'll probably be either happy or starting something new, or giving birth of something. Now, Carbondale, and I apologize if I'm not saying the places right. Okay. But they're gonna the Ace of Wands, so they're gonna spark some new attention. In Indianapolis. Wait, and why can't I say it right? Okay, whatever. They have the Knight of Wands. They're going to be fighting. There's going to be some passion there. Columbus will have to speak up. Cleveland has to clean up some details. And Niagara Fall, there's going to be some transformation or some healing happening. And I'm thinking this is the second place, Niagara Falls, around that area, because that's the Judgment card. The Judgment card is pretty big. That is Pluto right there. Rochester will have some action too, because it came up with the Magician card. Syracuse will be confident. Burlington holding on to its resources, the Four of Pentacles, the land probably. And who is this? Messina. I'm thinking this is in Canada. They're going to be speaking the truth. Hulton, the Queen of Cups, there's some compassion and nurturing energy happening there. Prasisk. Ow, I don't know if I'm saying the places right. I'm sorry. But they'll be setting up some boundaries, and that is the Emperor card. And if you see here in the picture, you see at the bottom there in Mexico, that's where it starts, and then it moves on up. Okay. Powerful. This eclipse is about powerful new beginnings, particularly in areas related to self-expression and identity of self. And if we're talking about a place, you're talking about the identity of the place. So Dallas and how it is Dallas, issues concerning independence, courage, and individuality. And it could be, if it's a place, how they are compared to the rest of the world or the rest of the country. That will be at the front burner. Total solar eclipse. It occurs when the sun is completely obscured by the moon, and you will be able to see it, but I do not suggest looking at it. Casting a shadow on the earth, creating a brief period of darkness. Now, eclipse traditionally are always like a sign of a bad omen. There's always things are very unpredictable when there's an eclipse. So it's very hard for astrologers to really point out something that's going to happen, because anything can happen. But I can give you the themes of what can happen. Because we're dealing with Aries energy, and because we're dealing with, it's connected to the North Node, there could be some new beginnings, some self-discovery. There could be some assertiveness. Something bold and courageous could be happening. It's definitely some independence. Initiative, self-expression, new opportunities, emotional release, impulsiveness, conflicts, selfishness, rash decisions, risk-taking, and lack of patience. Because remember, Aries is very impatient. Now, it's connected to the North Node that is also in the sign Aries, and it's also going to be conjunct the Chiron and Mercury. Actually, let me pull this up for you so you can see what we are looking at here. Hold on. And that date is April 8th. I'm pulling up the chart so you guys can see what it looks like. Okay, here we go. So you see here, this is the eclipse, and this is a solar eclipse. So it means that it's a new moon. But you see, it's connected to the Chiron here, and it's connected to that North Node here. So, and Mercury is not that far beyond this here. It's pretty close in degrees there too. So anyway, the point of that is that Chiron's association with healing, trauma, and integration wounds. So this is going to be an eclipse that involves healing, could be healing of self. With Aries being in a sign, it represents birth, and with the North Node, it represents new evolutionary territory. So this eclipse is going to push us to start a brand new chapter in life. This eclipse will compel us to leave the familiar because we outgrown it. So it makes me think of Dallas, like okay, like no, things are going to change, and Dallas is already changing. This what else do we have? And we might stir up issues of inadequacy, especially with that Chiron element. We will require us to attend to our inner healing, to come into a new perspective, because remember, we have that Mercury touching this eclipse too. Now, Mercury and Aries conjunct the eclipse. It could be a time of intense mental energy and communication. Aries is very fiery and is very assertive. So the combination could be very direct and passionate in communicating. People may be more impulsive with their words and ideas. And remember, eclipses are very unpredictable. So please practice patience and understanding. You could be starting some conversations that are very bold. You could be starting some new projects. Try not to be too impatient. Try not to be too hasty or too fiery. Aries energy can sometimes jump to conclusions. So be aware of that. A powerful time for initiating new ideas. And remember, Mercury's retrograding. So really practice patience. Also, because we have that sun in Aries and is conjunct Chiron, and Chiron is a Kazemi. It's a time for healing growth, especially in the matters of self-worth and identity, healing the self, having some self-awareness, integration of pain, because Chiron is associated as a wounded healer. So when you have it conjunct this Aries, you could be prompted to integrate your own pain and use that as a source of strength, because Chiron is always like, take whatever you've suffered from and use it to heal others, use it to help others heal. So for example, if you suffered from not speaking well, because I did have a speech impediment, you can help others speak and give them confidence. And yes, I hope that made sense. Or become like a speech therapist. Yes, okay, that makes more sense. Spiritual healing, self-discovery, being authentic, because you do have that realness with Aries. Painful realization, self-doubt, overwhelming energy can be happening with this. Struggles with identity, difficult because the sun is your ego and identity. Difficulties expressing your emotions, and conflict and tensions anytime you have Aries involved. Okay, so now let's move on to the 10th here. After that eclipse here, and we have Mars is going to conjunct right here. Mars is going to conjunct Saturn, and that's really happening. Do I have the time? Let me see. I know I wrote the time down, but let me just look it up here. Mars is going to conjunct Saturn. Okay, wait. At 1:36 p.m. And it's going to be 14 degrees. That is a Taurus degree. That is about money, our food, the earth, stability, luxuries, voice, our singing voice as well. I pulled the death card with this aspect. I feel like there's going to be issues of control, because Scorpio loves to have control. Okay. And Mars conjunct Saturn, war, and father figures, and it's not really making sense. Yeah, and leaving us in the darkness. Could be dealing with some Scorpio energy. Also, a transition of some sorts, right? Accidents and delays, energy towards confusion or confusion with bankruptcy, ambitious, but it's delayed. Like you're trying to be ambitious, or your ambitions is not really being clear. Misery or cold action, that kind of energy. Revenge because of grief or loss, anger and fear, armed forces, because we are dealing with limitations of the Saturn, and we are dealing with Mars. Depression with that Pisces energy connected to some weapons of some sort, guns, or some insecurities, fighting with the homelessness, because Pisces does represent homeless and Saturn, and they could be medicated. And Mars is like, like I'm fighting with you. It could be happening individually or a collective. Infidelity and sex, squabbles over jealousy, but it's an illusion. You're having some arguments over someone you think you're jealous over, and it's just all in your head. Battles in abandoned places, which is Saturn and Mars. Persecution and oppression, but it's a secret. Okay. Desires of control, emotional control, power dynamics, control issues, transformation through surrendering, because remember I pulled that Scorpio, the death card, and I'm thinking that's going to happen. As far as the aspect outside of the tarot, focus, action, endurance, and persistence, practicality and realism could be happening, because Saturn is very practical, and Mars is going to make it sure that it's like we're really doing what's practical here. But we're still dealing with that Pisces aspect: self-discipline, limitations and restrictions, conflict and tension. Globally, we could be dealing with some restrictions and some control, and discipline and structure, and conflict with confrontations, because Mars is a planet of action and aggression. So when it's conjunct at Saturn, it can indicate a time of increased conflict. So be aware of that. Challenges and obstacles. Strategic planning also works with that. Taurus degree, I'm thinking something with our resources for sure could be happening. And I'm thinking money, because that Scorpio also represents like some loans that we own, some money. Okay, so let's move on to April 11th. And April 11th, we have Pluto. Oh, Pluto. Well, let me see. On the 11th, which is not showing here yet, but Pluto is going to have 2 degrees. And Pluto is a bigger planet. It doesn't move as fast. So when it enters 2 degrees, there's going to be a subtle but significant shift in our transformation. And 2 degrees is a Taurus degree, but 2 means something bigger, actually. So let me look it up. I thought I had it in my notes. I feel like from my memory of degrees, 2 represents something bigger. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me see. This 2. Oh, no, it's 22. My bad. So it's just 2. So we're going to be dealing with, okay, Pluto in Aquarius already means there's transformations in groups and friendships. There's transformations in the future, in our hopes and dreams, and AI and technology, also airplanes. And when it comes to a Taurus degree, that is dealing with our resources. So our money, our food, the earth, stability, luxuries, and again, the voice. So let's see if AI is going to do something with the voice. I actually saw that this guy who was he couldn't move his hands, and he was playing chess with his mind. Let's see what and he was using that chip, that Neuralink. So let's see if something happens with that Neuralink. I pulled the Knight of Cups, and it's about following one's heart. So listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. And even if it comes off very strong, you want to follow that during this degree while this is happening. Okay. Also, the sun is going to be conjunct Mercury here. And it's going to be a Kazemi that happens at 4:02 p.m. That happens in 22 degrees. Okay. You see it kind of skipped over, but there it is there, 22 degrees. And that is an important degree. That is like to be killed or to kill degree. Now, doesn't mean it could be like someone dying. It could be something ending because that is a Capricorn degree. So it's about taking control, public attention, coldness, fear, depression, rationality, ambitious, and father. It also could be like a career ending or self-image ending or something ending, not like just something dying. I pulled the world tarot card for this, and it literally means like the end. It is the last tarot card of the Fool's Journey. So I'm thinking that someone's goals of achieving your goals is going to end. Okay. And maybe there's an announcement of this ending too. May not be our goals, maybe it'll be someone else's. So don't take it personal, because how it affects us individually is different according to our charts. So what we have with this is heightened mental clarity, focus on self-expression, with this Kazemi, because it's the heart of sun too. Also, we always have, when Mercury is conjunct Aries and it's retrograding, we also have some big announcements or some huge gossip. But because we're dealing with Aries, assertive communication, clarity in self-expression, potential for misunderstandings. Again, also maybe a big sports announcement or athletic announcement, or someone who uses their body for something, making an announcement. Focus on personal growth. Also, Aries deals with freshmen or anything starting. So, someone announcing that something dealing with college and freshmen, announcements and potential for misunderstandings and communication. What else do I have here? Three of Cups and Ten of Cups in reverse. Not a celebration. There is an abundance or happiness with this announcement. Oh, I pulled a card for the announcements. Maybe vanity or endorsement. Worried about the image and greed. Be aware of that. You don't have to know the exact cards that I pulled. I'm just telling you the translations of the cards so you guys can understand. So with this Kazemi, which is happening on the 11th, there could, you would think it's a celebration, but it's not, because they were in reverse. Three of Cups is normally like, yeah, party. I love when I see the Three of Cups because it's like feminine support, but this is not. It's like, no bueno, you're alone on this. There's no happiness, there's no abundance with this announcement, and it's all about the self. And there could be some vanity, or like I said, and worried about your public image, because that is the Capricorn energy, and greed. Okay, so be aware of that. That could be something that's more for the collective. Now, as we move on to the 19th here, that was an important date for me. The sun enters Taurus, and you see here now the sun fully is in Taurus. And anytime you have Taurus themes, you're dealing with art, you're dealing with music. Again, the voice. Taurus represents money, currency, finances, banks, loans. It also deals with land, so like field and wheat and farmers, and it deals with jewelry because it's dealing with some resources and treasure. Dealing with beauty, cattle is also a resource. Any type of horn animal. Also very fixed energy, so it's very stubborn. So the sun will conjunct Jupiter and Uranus, and as the sun is in the sign Taurus, and then later it's going to square Pluto in Aquarius. So get ready for that, the sun being in the sign Taurus. And basically that means a lot of these things that I just mentioned, these themes that I just mentioned, either will have a transformation, they're going to be bigger than ever, or something unexpected, surprises will be happening with them. Nine of Cups is what I picked for this card, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of boasting and materialism. Be ready of that. A lot of things about, like, look at the things that I have. There's stability, or being proud of the things that you have. But there's stability, there's practicality when the sun is in the sign Taurus. Sensuality, all your senses are very heightened because Venus is the ruler of Taurus. Determination, that's that fixed energy. Financial security. We could be stubborn though, and we could be resistant to change. There could be over abundance of materialism, over shopping, over buying, overindulging, eating all the sugar. Okay. I'm saying to myself, chill on the donuts, and a laziness. Taurus, it could be very lazy. Globally, as a collective, we could be resistance to any change. There could be major financial concerns, especially in the stock market. Slow progress, because it's still slow and steady and very methodical. Not as slow as Virgo, but slow. Very rigid and not flexible. Resistance to any innovation. And maybe when it conjuncts that Uranus, and that's about innovation, especially innovation of resources, maybe there's going to be some resistance there, and overindulgence and laziness. Okay. And the sun, remember, I don't know if I said it in this video, it represents our ego and our vitality, and it also represents our goals and what we want to achieve in life. Also, the sun touches everything. It brings light to everything, and it will bring light to a lot of Taurus things. Okay. Also, what else? Some positive things is we have that same day is Mars is going to sextile Jupiter. That's positive in 21 degrees Sagittarius. That makes it very big. So and it's going to also sextile Uranus. 21 degrees. So there's abundance and expansion in creative aspects, and Jupiter is very large in luck. Okay, so when it comes to pursuing things, but that's something we have to, the energy's out there, but we have to put the work in it. Okay. Basically, so you have these here and you see it's all in there. No, that's, yeah, it's not there yet. What is this? This is on the Mars is going to sextile here. Yeah. Oh yeah, 21 degrees. There we go. There it is there. So positive energy, it could bring a sense of enthusiasm, motivation, confidence, unpredictable energy, creativity, originality, and new approaches to some things. You may feel more inclined to take a risk and break free from any old patterns that day. So be ready for that. Now on the 20th, Jupiter is going to conjunct Uranus, which it was already conjuncting. So we felt this already for past few days. And Jupiter and Taurus conjunct at 7:26 p.m. It's rare, but it's happening. So aren't we excited? It's a powerful aspect that can bring sudden and unexpected changes, particularly in the areas of everything that I described earlier in Taurus, in our finances and our values. 21 degrees, Sagittarius degree, is going to be big, 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 big. Okay. I pulled the Queen of Machetes for this aspect, and it's about our self-confidence. And I needed a clarifying card because I was like, what? I don't know. And it was a 10 of Wands. So something with a lot of weight. So we're going to have some self-confidence or truth, because the Queen of Machetes is very nurturing, but it's going to speak the truth in one's honesty about the heavy weight that we are carrying with this aspect. So get ready for that. And Jupiter is about truth and philosophy. So expansion, innovation, sudden changes, financial opportunities, breakthrough in technology, freedom and independence, environmental consciousness, because you're dealing with that Taurus energy, global impact, because Jupiter is all about the global matters. So get ready for that. In the themes of Taurus, of finances and resources and singers could be happening. Social change. Uranus is all about the social and humanitarian and revolutionary. And now we're dealing with our resources. So get ready for that. Optimism and hope, unexpected opportunities. Now, individually, Jupiter in Taurus is all this overspending and afterpay and is afterpay, and what are the other things that people are using to like buy things but not buy things? That's Jupiter in Taurus. Zale. I don't know the name of them, but it's when you can buy something and not fully pay for it, but you get the materialism, the material item. That is Jupiter in Taurus. Now Uranus in Taurus is that fake meat. The meat that they're like, look, we grew this in a lab. That's Uranus and Taurus. Okay. And also that crypto energy. Globally, we can have economic expansion, technical innovation, social and cultural changes, environmental concerns, again Taurus, practical upheaval. Jupiter and Uranus conjunct can sometimes coincide with political upheaval and changes in leadership. This conjunction can bring about unexpected political developments globally, leading shifts in power dynamics. Interesting to see how that would go, especially the philosophy of it, because it's Sagittarius degree, but whatever it is going to be big. This aspect is going to be huge. Global trade and commerce, shifts in values, resource management, cultural exchange. Jupiter does represent the world, okay? Philosophy and religion exploration can be happening. Okay, now on the 21st, and I do want to say that we have been feeling this, okay? But this is going to be extra saucy. Now, on the 21st, we have the sun, which is going to square Pluto. Oh, no me gusta, okay? The sun in Taurus, squaring Pluto in Aquarius. Remember the 2 degree? The 2 degree is, yes. The 2 degree is also representing like Jesus, okay? Those who made a remarkable achievement, extreme power, highly respected, literally like Jesus. Like Jesus had a Mercury in 2 degrees in Pisces. So I remember 2 is something powerful, okay? But it's squaring. So really back in. But Pluto in 2 degrees is going to be something very powerful, okay? Anyway, but Taurus is this 2 degree, is when something is in 2 degrees, that is Taurus. And again, money, resources, food, the earth, stability, luxury, jewelry. Okay. I pulled the Two of Pentacles. So this degree is really important with this aspect. Okay. So power struggles, um, transformation and change, resentment and obsession, because Pluto is very obsessed with stuff. Okay. Intense interactions, resistance to change, power dynamics. Globally, there could be power struggles in politics, which we've been having. But it's going to be extra saucy. That sun's going to bring a light to it. A square is very challenging, but when challenges happen, there's some growth, okay? Financial turmoil, social and humanitarian issues, environmental concerns, shift in global power. Pluto is associated with transformation and regeneration. So let's see what this aspect brings, okay? Let's see what else. But that is a big one, you guys. I know it may not seem big from what I was saying, but I do want to tell you that that was a big one. Now, on the 23rd, we have the full moon in Scorpio. Look at that. It's going to be in 4 degrees, actually. And it's going to happen at 4:48 p.m. So any full moon rituals you have, do it the day before. Actually, do it on the 22nd. And I will speak on the full moon and do the horoscopes in another video as we get closer to it. Full moon in Scorpio is a time of releasing old patterns and embracing transformation. 4 degrees is a Cancer degree that is dealing with the mom, your past, your home, nurture, traditions, loyalty, and water. Squaring all Leo placements, this full moon will be happening, and Aquarius placements. The full moon is also squaring Pluto in Aquarius. So intense emotions, obsessions, revealing hidden truths. That's double Scorpio energy because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. Conflicts, emotions, all coming from what is hidden. The sun is squaring Pluto also with this full moon. Okay. So the sun is squaring Pluto. Um, the moon is squaring Pluto. Just be aware it's going to be extra saucy. You thought the eclipse was doing something, and maybe it didn't do anything to you because it was in air signs, but the water signs may affect you. Okay, emotionally intense transformation, psychological deepness. Nothing surface level happens with this placement with this full moon. Power and control, Scorpio is associated with power and control. The full moon can bring issues with something that people are trying to control me. I don't like it. So power struggles could be an issue. Sexuality and intimacy, anything that's taboo, occult. Okay, all that can be what's in the dark. All that could be brought to the light. And releasing and letting go. Anytime you have a full moon, it's a culmination. There's a completion of some sort. There's emotional intensity because full moons are known for being very emotional. It's going to affect all the feminine signs, so all the earth signs and water signs. It's going to affect you the most. No, yes, yes. Balance and harmony is what we have here. Let me see what else. Full moons occur. Balance and harmony because the sun is opposing the moon. So there could be some balancing and harmony that you like a tug of war. Also, releasing and letting go anytime we have a full moon of what no longer serves you. Energetic peaks is also what happens when you have a full moon. It's a potent time when the lunar energy is at its climax. So something's going to be brought to its head, especially in the sign of Aries, right? I pulled the Empress card with this, and the Empress card is the mother card. And I'm thinking it's going to be something dealing with mothers. Okay. Scorpio energy is also, I want to say, endings, but it's nothing. Scorpio is never ending, it's always regenerating. So there's death and then there's life with Scorpio. So maybe even mothers giving birth. Okay. Full moon in Scorpio rituals. The day before, I would journal, reflect, release anything, like write it down. Water cleansing because you're dealing with Scorpio, and cleansing, maybe even taking a bath, wiping things down with water. Meditation, going within. Energy healing, use energy healing techniques like Reiki or crystals. Scorpio is very spiritual, and water energy is very abstract, right? Do a tarot card or reading, tarot reading or oracle reading the day before. Create a vision board because using images and words to create vision can help set the intentions for this full moon. And the intentions of releasing, because when you have that new moon, you want it to all be released. Okay, moon gazing, spend some time under the light of the full moon and look outside your window, allow yourself to soak in the energy of the moon. Full moon in Scorpio is facing the shadow side. Again, letting go. There could be empowerment. You could be reclaiming your power and step into a potential truth. Again, I talked about sexuality, and you may feel deeper connection with your partner and desire. Okay. You are dealing with this Taurus stability versus the Scorpio intensity. You are dealing with that. I said Aries earlier. I don't know why I said that. Sorry. Material and emotional security, stubborn and emotional depth, practicality versus um, the abstract of Scorpio, which is dealing with emotions, a desire for both practical and deepness in your life. What else do we have? Possessions versus trust, a tension between wanting to hold on to what you have, which is the Taurus and Sun and Taurus, and trusting the transformation power of letting go, which is Scorpio. And there could be major financial issues because Taurus and Scorpio deals with the finances. Now, on the 25th, Mercury goes direct, and communication begins to be a little more smooth and flowing easily, and transportation. But the post shadow phase may bring some lingering effects. I pulled the Seven of Pentacles. Still move slow and be patient. And remember, it's in a sign Aries, so it wants to be impatient. But when the Mercury goes direct, you start to have some clarity and understanding. There's some forward momentum, new beginnings, quick thinking, direct communication, and you could resolve some conflicts here. Okay. Now, on the 28th of April, we have Mars is in the sign Pisces, and look, it's conjunct at Neptune. Look at that. It's going to be in 28 degrees. That's a Cancer degree again, all about feminine energy, water, the home, your past, legacy, pregnancy, too. Seven of Swords. That card is about stealing and lies. So let's see what happens. Pisces could be representing lies here and some sneakiness, keeping stuff in the dark and keeping stuff hidden. You could be very sensitive. Heightened sensitivity happens with this energy because Mars is about pursuing things, and Neptune and Pisces are very sensitive. And you could be trying to pursue things and be very sensitive, which could cause you to lie. Okay. Because you're like, I don't feel very confident in this. And Pisces is a very lack energy. Okay. Creative inspiration can happen, though, and you can have a spiritual awakening. Be careful of escaping into fantasy. Instead of trying to pursue your goals, you want to escape. Compassion and empathy happens. There's confusion and delusion with this too. Now, I looked up if there's conflict around the world. Idealism and vision. Okay, Pisces rules Neptune. No, Neptune rules Pisces, and it's associated with our idealism and our vision. And when you have this conjunction, it could suggest that actions happening at this time is driven by a vision of a better world, because it's all about like the fantasy of things. So be aware of that, or like oneness also. But so there could be deceptions and illusions. There could be a sacrifice or martyrism. Did I say that right? And when someone tries to sacrifice something, or someone is sacrificed, because that's what Pisces represents. And someone could be sacrificing something for a greater cause, okay? Or a willingness to endure suffering for a higher purpose. Spiritual welfare definitely could be happening with this. So conflicts arise over deeply held spiritual or philosophical beliefs rather than the physical territory or resources. So be aware of that, because Mars does represent war. Okay. Now, on the 29th of April, Venus is going to enter Taurus. Here we are here. And that's all about being more sensual and more stable. Now, I pulled the Moon card and the Knight of Swords. Lack of security is going to be spoken. People are going to feel more insecure, and maybe they will substitute things by consuming sugar. Okay. Sensuality and pleasure, stability and security. And that's why I said the lack of security could be happening here. Remember, Venus is going to hit all these other planets. So you could be feeling insecure when it's badly aspected. But there is, as a whole, Venus in Taurus is about, and it's at home here. So it really likes to be in Venus, but appreciation of beauty, material comforts, slow and steady, and finances is going to be the focus. Okay. And lastly, do I have a lastly or do I have something else? Okay. Two more, I think. Two more. Yes. Now on April 30th, we have Mars is going to enter Taurus as well. Wait, no, that's Venus. Where's my Mars? Oh, Mars is entering Aries. Okay. Yes, yes. We end with a big banger, you guys. Mars is the planet of war. Mars is at home and in sign Aries. Energy is going to be more assertive and action orientated. I pulled the High Priestess, and everyone needs to use their patience. Please use your patience when Mars enters Aries. Yes. We have on a positive side of Mars entering Aries is that we'll be more confident, more courageous. There's leadership, there's boldness, there's energy, there's drive, there's action, there's assertiveness. On the negative side, you can be very impulsive, very aggressive, very impatient. There's conflict and there's restlessness. Now, regarding global issues, okay, there could be increased tension with this placement. Okay, quick and decisive actions. Military is what Mars represents, so there could be some military actions happening, maybe to create some boundaries. We'll see, because we had that Saturn in Pisces, but the illusion of it is just there's no boundaries. Maybe this Aries will bring some clarity to that. We'll see. Leadership and initiative, potential for resilience. But remember, I pulled the High Priestess, so please practice patience during this. Now Venus is also going to square, it's squaring the moon also, but it's also going to square that Pluto in Aquarius. Okay. In 2 degrees, remember what I told you about 2 degrees, very important, very godly like, right? Money and food and the earth, stability, luxuries and voice, jewelry, resources. I pulled the Ace of Swords. There's going to be new clarity in the struggle, and the struggle may bring some clarity, this transformation, because Pluto is about transformation and change. But there's some power struggles, intense emotions when you have Venus squaring Pluto. Financial tensions, because Pluto is representing what do we owe, and Venus is like what our finances, transformation and growth. There's some intimacy though, and some deepness, resilience and empowerment. Okay, that is what we have in a nutshell of the month. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, I'm going to break everything out weekly, and I will pull some cards out weekly for everyone and do the horoscopes. That is just April in a nutshell. I will actually do horoscopes for, should I do horoscopes for April or just breaking down weekly? Let me know what you guys like and what you prefer. Okay. I am able to just look at my horoscopes and my chart all the time. So I don't know how it feels to not know your chart. So let me know what you prefer. If you like me to break it down weekly, or if you like me to do the monthly and the weekly, or the month, whatever, just let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hopefully can do the timestamps of the month. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.